This is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today we're bringing you the side-by-side comparison every Samsung smartphone lover wanted to see, and that is the Galaxy Note 7 versus the Galaxy S7 Edge. These are the two best of the best that Samsung has to offer, and today we're going to see which one really is the better phone for you. We'll go through each and every category to see which one is truly the Samsung king. Let's get started. Now, when it comes to the look and feel, you might think, oh, they're pretty much the same thing. But there are subtle differences. Now, overall, on the S7 Edge, you have an Edge-style display that really comes from this narrow design, but I will say this, with this design came a very kind of sharp and narrow edge. And it definitely feels when you're holding it in the hand that it's a little bit sharper. The Note 7, however, has a more refined edge, kind of bubbles all the way around. And with this, you just definitely feel more of a curved design, and it really is just a really sleek looking style, but that curve going around just feels really good and simple and clean. So overall, the looks are very similar, but overall the look and feel has to go to the Note 7, just having a more refined look. And you'll see that word used a lot between these two, a more refined and polished style, and that's something that the Note 7 update definitely has. Now, when we take a look at web browsing, the first thing we take a look at is the screens. And both have a 2560 by 1440p or a 2K display, coming in at 5.5 inches and 5.7 inches respectively, both over 500 pixels per inch, but the S7 Edge has the more pixels per inch because it's a smaller phone. However, it is important to note that the Note 7 has the better screen to body ratio, meaning the screen is more utilized well in comparing to the S7 Edge. So that's why the phones are only a slight difference between them in size, even though you have a 0.2 millimeter difference or 0.2 inch difference in terms of the phones themselves. Overall, in the dimensions, the S7 Edge is going to be the smaller between the two, though. All right, and let's load the web page and see which one does better. Both seem to be doing about the same. And the S7 Edge, though, did finish first between the two. Although, well, out of the box, this comes compressed text. That's why we're seeing a difference in the text compression right here. Let's see how well this moves, though. Both move really well. Pinch to zoom doing good. And pinch zoom, a little bit of stuttering. We saw this on the last comparison with the Note. It seems to be okay now. Overall, these two are very similar when it comes to web browsing. Although the S7 Edge did finish slightly quicker than the Note 7, it wasn't too noticeable of a difference. So overall, we will call this a tie between the two. Again, the text compression can be done to the S7 Edge. I just haven't done it on this phone yet, so you'll get the same resolution on web pages. Now we're going to take a look at the sound quality between the two. And overall, between these two, neither one honestly is that great of a speaker. The S7 Edge was notoriously probably the weakest part of the phone was the speaker. And the Note 7 unfortunately seems to follow suit a little bit. A lot of people blame it on the waterproofing, but unfortunately I wish we still could get a better phone speaker at least coming out of the top instead of both speakers just being at the bottom. Let's go through it. First the Note 7, then back and forth.
Come on. I'll be your hero, baby, if you let me. I promise I will be there for you in your time of your darkest hour. On your brightest day, I will be there for you, baby, when you call on me. I'll be your hero. website.
So overall, between the two, neither one again is going to be astounding, but they are very close to each other. Overall, I would say that the uh, Note 7 has a better bass. Overall, it seems to do a little bit better with that, and just not getting any kind of distortion at its loudest. However, the S7 Edge gets a little bit louder, it seems like, but it gets a lot of distortion at that point. So, whichever one you rather prefer is up to you. To me, the S7 Edge is louder but more distorted, whereas the Note 7 is less loud, but it has a really good bass to it and is clear. So when it comes to the display comparison, watching movies on your Netflix or YouTube, you would think that the S7 Edge and the Note 7 should be pretty much the same, right? No, actually, this is one of the biggest differences that I have seen, that why I really am falling in love with the Note 7. See, the Note 7 has something called Video Enhancer, which applies to many of the apps you will watch movies on. So let me just play it and then you can see the difference. I mean, this is really impressive. The Note 7 makes the S7 Edge look so dull. I think I'm comparing it to an iPhone screen. It just really is amazing, the difference of the screen quality here and that really that video enhancer makes. Now, this is the technology they're toting for their HDR as well. So the video enhancer will work on all of these apps. It will work on other apps. These are the apps that I have downloaded to this device that are compatible with it. So if you do have other video apps, they might be compatible with it. They might not, but these are definitely compatible, which you have YouTube, of course, they're all your built-in videos, Netflix, and even ESPN. So a lot of different apps you have compatible with this video enhancer, and it really just makes the video quality stand out so much. So yes, when it comes to watching videos, the Note 7 is the clear winner between these two devices. Now, in our camera comparisons, we will go over all the latest topics that you want to go over: low light, detail, color reproduction, and selfies. However, although you might think the Note 7 and the S7 Edge will be identical in image quality, as we go through these, you see there are going to be some differences that are quite noticeable. Now, this could be software differences that the S7 could eventually have, but as of right now, these are the software differences that are really impacting the image quality that you're seeing. So let's start right into the low light. So with the S7 Edge, as we see here, you definitely see a huge difference in the low light quality when it comes to just not being as bright as the Note 7. So here's the image on the S7 Edge, and here's that same image on the Note 7. It really just does seem that overall the Note 7 is going to be the brighter between the two and just does a bit of a better job overall representing the low light quality in just not only details like the building, but in the green as well as the asphalt itself. So overall, when it comes to low light, as of now, the Note 7 seems to do a bit better job than the S7 Edge. Now, when it comes to detail, well, we're not getting too much of a difference here. Overall, we do see that the Note 7 and the S7 Edge pretty much have identical in terms of detail. So as we go through the different games, you can pretty much read everything you can on each side very clearly. And again, they both have about the same amount of clarity as the other one does, neither one completely outclassing it in terms of detail. overall, in terms of detail, it seems that these are going to be a draw. However, you are getting a preview of the next thing, which is the color reproduction, which is the next category. So in terms of detail, first, it is going to be even. However, when it comes to color reproduction, we're definitely going to see a difference as we go through this image specifically. Simply because the S7 Edge had one of the worst color reproductions we had seen in our previous videos. However, the Note 7 software definitely has seemed to fix this. Simply because the first thing I'll have you guys take a look at is skin tone. Skin tone is much more well represented here than here, just giving an off tone that's just not true to skin tone. As well as when we see the Android in the green, this is exactly how that Android looks like, whereas this one, he looks a bit yellowish green instead of just regular green. Also, in terms of here, you can more noticeably see the white, as where here it kind of blends in with this darker color. So overall, really, it's just no class between the two. It really is going to be the Note 7 completely outclassing the S7 Edge when it comes to color reproduction. So if you want more accurate colors, the Note 7 is definitely going to be better. And then finally, we go into the selfies category, which the selfie pretty much dead on. Yes, there's a bit of a color difference yet again, but overall, there's not that much of a difference between the selfie comparison. So overall, I will call the selfie a tie as well because they're both going to take good selfies. So as we go back, low light, the Note 7 just seems to lighten a bit better than the S7 Edge, which again does a tremendous job itself. The Note 7 and S7 Edge are pretty much dead center when it comes to detail. You're going to be able to see exactly what you want to see in terms of fine detail. The Note 7 is clearly better with color reproduction, and selfie is going to be a draw. So overall, the winner for the camera comparison is definitely the Galaxy Note 7. Now, when it comes to gaming, yes, there is no really difference between these two. They essentially do have the same graphics card, processor, RAM in their respective devices. So neither one's going to outperform the other in gaming, and both are going to have the same amount of games. So for the gaming portion, it's kind of boring, but yeah, it's a tie. They're pretty much going to perform gaming just like the other one does. Now, when it comes to battery usage, both are going to be a really good battery life. Both will give you about 12 hours worth of actual full day usage, and that's playing Pokemon Go and turn-by-turn navigation and everything you could do in your daily usage. However, the Note 7 is slightly edging out the S7 Edge in comparing to the first days of testing that I did with the S7 Edge, comparing to the first days with the Note 7. Overall, it's just seeming to do a really good job, and that's without any kind of power saving modes. That you're getting a bit more, even as the phones are telling you right now. They're going to estimate that this will last about almost, not 4 hours exactly more, but over 3 hours more on the Note 7. And again, this just has to deal with software refinements. So will the S7 Edge eventually get those software refinements? Maybe. And that's just because Samsung doesn't necessarily give the latest software to the older devices all the time. If it does, then they'll be on more level footing. But until then, as of right now, the Note 7 is getting the better battery life overall. Now, when it comes to the extras category, well, between these two, everything the S7 has, the Note 7 also has. So, water resistant, expandable memory, all of these features, yeah, the Note 7 has it too. But the Note 7 also has more. Namely, of course, you first get the extras of the S Pen, which is an obvious one, and that does give you all the capabilities that come along with the S Pen in terms of being able to translate, screen capture GIFs, magnify, use that glance feature for multitasking. There are refinements that happened with the pen. But not only that, you also do obviously get more storage. You have more built-in storage, doubling the storage of the S7, which only comes, both of these phones only come in one storage. This one only in 32 and this one 64. So for the extras category, the Note 7 will take it because it has everything the S7 Edge has, but it also has more extras. Now, when it comes to the price point, the first thing we always take a look at is the storage between the two phones. And overall, this is going to be a difference that does play a factor. With the Note 7, you're getting 64 gigs of storage, whereas the S7 Edge, as we just discussed, gets 32 gigs. So you do get double the storage on the Note 7. However, when we take a look at the price point, the S7 Edge is coming in at $779, where the Note 7 is going to come in at $849. So here's the thing. If you're on a monthly plan, like most carriers are, they actually come out to be the same price because you have to pay upfront for the Note 7, whereas you don't have to pay upfront for the S7 Edge. However, there's one more thing with that, and that is that the S7 Edge is definitely going to go down as the holidays come about. They're going to go down probably all the way down to $749. So that being said, the S7 Edge is still the better bang for the buck because it's going to be at a lower price point and it will continue to drop throughout the rest of the year. Whereas the Note 7, we don't see dropping its price point at any other point. I would also like to point out that although this price is at T-Mobile, the Note 7 is going as high as $899 at some carriers, so you have to note that, where this is pretty much the average price point for the S7 Edge. So overall, yes, the better bang for the buck will be the S7 Edge having the better price point overall. All right, let's tally them up and see who won. When it comes to look and feel, the Note 7 is going to be the better overall look and feel design. When it comes to web browsing, the web browsing will be the same on both devices, both doing fairly well. When it comes to the sound quality, neither does fairly well when it comes to the speaker, unfortunately. We do wish there was a better speaker, maybe on the S8. When it comes to watching movies, you're definitely going to want to do that on the Note 7. It just blew away even the S7 Edge by far. When it comes to camera quality, the software refinements seem to play a huge factor and giving the Note 7 the better overall photo quality, even though they have the same image processor, even though they have the same camera and megapixels, you're overall getting more refinements, probably due to software configuration. That could come to the S7 Edge, but for now, the Note 7 is going to be better when it comes to camera. When it comes to gaming, they're both going to be equal on processor, graphics card, and RAM, and the types of games they can play. When it comes to battery life, the Note 7 is edging out the S7 Edge, just giving you a little bit better battery life overall. When it comes to the extras category, the Note 7 has all the extras the S7 has, but more. And finally, when it comes to pricing, the S7 Edge is going to be the better bang for your buck, being anywhere from $60 to $100 less. And when we tie them all up, the Note 7 wins it, guys. It's truly not by a landslide, but as I said in the beginning of this video, the Note 7 is really just a more refined and well-polished version of the S7 Edge. So you're getting a little bit better feel to it, better movie watching experience, better quality camera, better battery life, and more extras. The S7 Edge isn't a slouch, and it does give you a better bang for your buck, but overall, if you want the best of the best that Samsung has to offer, you're going to want to go with the Galaxy Note 7. Thank you as always for watching this video. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up down below. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.